Welcome everybody! Playday number 5 of the Nations Cup qualifier for Europe has just started, and we have a real banger as we are heading into our first map. It's Towers of Doom, and we got Germany versus Sweden. Super exciting match for multiple reasons. Well, first of all, Vikings getting bans. Swedes, they just don't like fun. There's this rumor out there that the Germans, they don't have a sense of humor, but that's actually not true. We enjoy a lot of fun. We have very funny jokes. If you actually listen to this YouTube channel a lot, or to this Twitch stream, then you know that the Germans are very, very funny people. I personally am famous for my good sense of humor and the fantastic jokes that I'm cracking all the time. So that's the level that you can expect here. But Sweden, apparently, they hate fun because they banned the Vikings, and this is just not okay. But either way, what I wanted to say is this is going to be a banger one way or another, because Germany so far is sitting at an absolutely stellar record when it comes to their performance here at the Nations Cup qualifier. They want to go to Berlin, they want to qualify for the offline event, and they have not dropped a single map yet. Now, as I explained multiple times, we have 3 teams that clearly stand out when we're looking at the 8 teams that are still remaining here at the qualifier, and those 3 teams are Sweden, France and Germany. They are 3 of the teams that we all expect to go to the offline event in Berlin, and Germany hasn't faced off against either one of them yet. This is the first time that they meet another team in the top 3, whereas Sweden, for example, already went up against the French, was successful there, and find themselves therefore in a pretty interesting, very, very interesting situation. And this game, I mean, is Germany going to pull it off again? Are they going to win this with a 3-0? Is Sweden going to win the series? Is it going to come down to 5 maps? We really don't know. But we definitely know that this is going to be a very big test for both of them, and for the Germans in particular, because so far, as I said, they haven't even lost a map. Now, when we're talking about the offline event, I'm talking, of course, about Berlin. We're going there at the 10th and the 11th of June, and we have the final 6 teams, 4 teams from Europe, 1 team from North America, and 1 team from Asia, battling in the Nations Cup for glory, prize money, and the adoration of every single fan that is there, either there or watches from home. And if you guys want to be at the venue, if you want to come to Berlin, if you want to combine it with a city trip, you're more welcome to do that. There's no entrance fee, there's no tickets that you have to get. All of this is taking place at the Experian at the Alexanderplatz in Berlin. If you want to have more information, you can jump down into the description, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. There's multiple links that you can have a look at. You can also check the Experian out. They have multiple social media channels where they have pictures of events that they've ran in the past, so that you get an idea of what the venue looks like. Tons and tons of people have already said they're going to be there. Casters are going to be there, myself included. And of course the players are going to be on site as well. It's going to be awesome. And if you've missed so far out on International Heroes of the Storm in an offline setup, this is maybe even your last chance, given the state of the game. But we're of course going to do our best to keep all of this alive and kicking. But back to our series. So Towers of Doom kicks us off in the best of 5. Playday 5, as I mentioned. We get Genji early on for Dainu, and Nick with Diablo for the team now here in Towers. Dehaka locked in very early, and we've seen particularly Svamgrota perform like an absolute beast with Dehaka. It's not even funny. This guy is so damn good on the side lane on Dehaka. It's going to be glorious to see him now go up against Germany. We get Rega and the Germans with the tanks, the Panzer. They keep rolling. Nice. Ultralisk. It's hammer time. Oftentimes you see Sergeant banned out against the Germans, not so in this one. Apparently the Swedes think that they have a solution for that problem, and we are gonna check it out. Hogga picked Murder as well, so it's already a very aggressive frontline that they're running here. 3 melees together with Stukov, and Hanzo as the only range damage dealer from Sweden. So yeah, it's going to be a special game. It's going to be a special series. It's going to be awesome. Towers of Doom, final pick for Hazu. So they go for Blaze. We got them with, yeah, Diablo, Blaze at the front, Sergeant Hammer behind this, Genji for Dainu to jump into the backline. It's going to be pretty epic. So let's jump in and let's see which team is going to take the lead here at the Nations Cup qualifier for Europe between Germany and Sweden. The Germans in game number 1 on the left side with Death Knight on Rega, as Team Bratwurst is continuing with Dino and Genji. We have Hazops on Blaze, Ultralisk on Sergeant Hammer, and Nick on Diablo. To the right side of the map, the meatballs with Svamgrotta and Dehaka. Sweden with Lauba on Murden, Henning on Stukov, Gia on Hanzo, and Skok is playing Hogga. Alright, let the fireworks begin. Can Germany take this one? Will Sweden best them? This is going to be another 3-mapper, or are we going the distance? It's going to be a great game. Really looking forward to what the two teams have in store for us, and especially the Germans have to prove themselves here. They played, I mean, this is played number 5, so both of the teams played obviously 4 matches. But the Germans with not a single map loss yet, and they would absolutely love to keep it that way. But if they can pull it off or not, that's a very different question, because as we heard previously, apparently Lauba has a plan. Now, I'm not quite sure if that is a good or a bad sign for Sweden that he has a plan, because usually Lauba's plans continue with him dying in the first minute of the game. It's called pulling a Lauba for a reason, but at least here on the first map it seems like he's still Gucci. Unless he Sudokus into the towers here, he is gonna be fine. So, with Sergeant Hammer down at the bottom of the map, it's noteworthy to point out that Ultralisk is playing the hero, because obviously Nick has played him in the past quite a lot. He has to swap into the tank position, which also led to him playing very aggressive Tyraels previously. We've seen him with tank Deathwing, so he always wants to be a bit more on the aggressive side. And since Diablo is the OG bully, that's one of the things where we can expect him to just try and make the engages and force some fights. But as I say that, it's Sweden that forces the battle. The Swedes are going straight for the camp and try to claim it. Hazorbs is moving in slowly, and a little bit too slowly, so he's just able to dash out, but Sweden with early aggression. Well done, good start for the team in red. Nicely done by them. Few pumpkins already connecting here, and that nearly destroys one of the towers. But more importantly, Sweden now has taken 2 of the pumpkin camps, and they go for first blood. Diablo is down. Bye Nick, and damn, those meatballs are spicy today, aren't they? Look at that. Sweden with the lead in experience with 1 kill to 0, a wall opened up, a camp stolen away. That's a pretty good start. Keep in mind, Sweden took down the French. I mean, that game went to the wire, but at the end, as the dust settled, it was the Swedes that were ahead. So, pretty respectable opening from them, and they're now a level ahead. Germany will have to put some work in order to get this one done. Dino already sniffed out as he was trying to move towards the top and be aggressive here. Now, the lineup that gets played by Sweden obviously has 3 frontliners now, so we have Dehaka, Murden and Hogga, not the traditional 2 backline damage dealers that you normally see. By now Hazorb's also going for the camp up at the top. Down to the bottom of the map, it's already a bit of a battle for the position around altar number 3 that the two teams are engaging in, or at least Sweden, and they're going in again. Stormbolt, they go for Nick. Apparently they decided that Nick on the tank position is the weak link on the German side, and started to focus him very specifically. So, top left, top right, the channels are happening. Dino down here, can he interrupt? Yes, he can. Sergeant Hammer without the mobility, of course, not really that big of a threat just yet. This is going to change once that level 7 is in. But Sweden is indeed taking the lead on every metric that you can think of right now. It's a small lead, it's not really a big one yet, but good start either way for the IKEA team. So, down to the bottom, still Ultralis dealing with the lane. He wants level 7, he wants a bit of mobility. He needs to be very careful that rotations are not going to hit him. So already on the way back to the bell tower, as the team in the middle is signaling that there's a rotation coming his way. We get Skullcracker on level 7. Ultralisk himself with the siege tactics now on level 4. And now as the German team locks in their next talent, this is of course where it's gonna become a bit more interesting for Ultralisk in particular with Sergeant Hammer. In addition to that, we have the totem build continued from Rhaegar, so the synergy with the level 1 talent is now in play. And on top of this, we also have the malevolence for Diablo. And Sweden is looking to invade again. Dehaka is tunneling in, he's committing, they're moving for the camp. Germany claims it this time, but the fight isn't over yet. Dehaka becomes the target, and he gets murdered. Easy kill, Svamgrotta down, and Germany showing the Swedes the door as they are saying, well, one time you might be able to steal the camp away from us, but not again. This is the revenge for all these bolts that have been missing in the past, for all the screws that have not been delivered with the IKEA Billy board, and yep, that is kill number 1 for Germany. So, things are going pretty alright in the game. This is exactly what we kind of wanted. A little bit of a back and forth between the team. I love that Sweden is aggressive. Really like that they're going for camp invades and try and make those plays. But it's just blow exchanged for blow between the two teams. And of course, by now we have Germany also using the German efficiency to try and get themselves a bit of a leading experience, which so far has worked out for them. But, well, 32 to 36, and they would like to draw even here. Germany with position around the altar. Sergeant Hammer with extra damage on Lauber as he dove in and gets stunned out by Blaze. Dino also getting targeted, but they're turning it very quickly on Hogger. Can Dino follow up on it? Not yet, but it's a 5 versus 5 down here, and the altar has been channeled, so now we are on even points on the core, 32 to 32. Top side, that's where we have the Haka. 77 soul stacks for Diablo, so he has a little more work to do, and then he is gonna have a revive ready. But Dino is jumping in again, completes his quest, the party continuing. He has the level 10 abilities are starting to kick in for the Germans. We have them with Apocalypse in game number 1 of this best of 5 series, and also the BFG. Svamgrotta with another lick. Hazorps unimpressed, no problem for him. And bot side, Sweden gets the experience to claim heroic abilities as well. That gives us the Shockwave. We have Hanzo's arrows, so stuns are there. Are we going to get the Lauber special? Usually it's the Playmaker that he goes for the big plays, but he might be better off getting Avatar here, and he does! I'm impressed! Look at that! Lauber not going for the YOLO, and instead going for a reasonable talent on level 10. Me likey. I really thought he would go Playmaker again. But no, we get Avatar. Now the double altar spawning at the bottom of the map. Dino has put some additional pressure at the top lane towards Svamgrotta. But it is time to shine bot side. And Sweden does it again! I thought Germany was playing against Sweden or against Poland. What's happening here? Another camp gets stolen. So Sweden with one aggressive move after another. And here comes the BFG. There's no kill like overkill. The big bullet straight into Hanzo's face. The Shockwave, though, against Death Knight's Rhaegar, and he survives. He gets the Ancestral through. What a follow-up, and now another kill against the Swedes as Stukov falls. Genji with the channel in the middle. At the top, Pumpkins are threatening the bell tower, and this is a fantastic objective phase for Germany. The Germans with German efficiency. They get 2 out of the 2 altars. They drop the core down to 24 points, a level ahead, and with a numbers advantage on the map, they can also try and push a bit more aggressively into these bell towers. Sweden has to be careful. Yeah, in the middle. We now got Nick and Hazu. They start to sniff out Svamgrotta on the rotation, and Dino is immediately ready, not only with a spray, but also with some extra damage on the Haka. So he arrives at the top lane with roughly 60% HP. Sweden with a bit of a setback here. They had some really nice moments. They're trying to go for another one, but this time Dino is able to swift strike out of harm's way, so he's able to escape. Both teams on level 12, but in core points, Germany is just looking a little bit better. Down to the bottom of the map, Ultralisk is playing a very, very boring game, I'd say. He has participated in a couple of fights, but outside of that, he's just solo on the lane. Every single time there's a minion wave, he can go for it. But besides that, the team is just calling him back time and time again whenever they don't know exactly where the Swedish team positioned themselves and where they're headed next. The level 13 talents in the hands of the Germans, the blue team. The Stormbolt missing as Lauber has maybe enjoyed a little bit too much Swedish cider over here. They get the level 13 too. So, Ultralisk weaving in those auto attacks like a boss. One right click at a time. Oh yeah. And over to the right side, another camp claim. How many camps did they take? They have to have a big lead on the mercenaries. And yeah, they have nearly twice the amount of experience in mercenaries that the Germans have. The tank, nice, look at that. Oh, the Apocalypse with 3 hits! And the Panzergeneral with another big ult and the kill on Stukov, followed by a Hogger kill. Germany going strong again in the bot lane fight. Nice engage initially by Sweden, but they can't get the kill on Sergeant Hammer. And now they lose 3 on the retreat. The bunker is out. Dino! Oh, he gets finally killed. It looked for a second as if he might be able to survive through all of this, but Gia, he had none of it, and then in the end it is the bell tower that takes him down. 6 kills, 2-2. Germany with another channel. They get another 4 shots fired here in just a moment. 5 shots fired. He cancels, waits for the bell tower to be taken over, and that is 5 shots in total that are fired towards the red team's core. They're down to 19 points now, and they're trailing in experience, which is honestly the bigger problem for the Swedish team at this point. Yeah, things are getting very interesting now. Germany definitely feeling comfortable with the lead, also with the bot lane control that they established. Bot lane on Towers of Doom, the most important lane here. Generally speaking, on any map that you play in Heroes of the Storm, the map or the lane that has the most mercenary camps traveling through it is the most important one. Because once you control it completely, you can always set up pushets towards the core, or in this case, escort pumpkins towards the death zone and connect these shots with the main structure on the side of the Swedish team. There is the added factor of the bottom objective being highly inaccessible to the Swedes if they don't have control over at least one bell tower. But definitely something that the red team would like to get back now. Giant Killer is in, and the problem for Sweden is, of course, that they still have a long way to go until they have level 16 talent, so it's going to be quite some time until they are finally in a position where they're comfortable taking a fight against the Germans. And Germany at the top with the next move by Dino in an attempt to get the experience here. The Germans, they like efficiency, and they don't like to be inefficient, do they now? Exactly. Exactly, absolutely, totally agree. But Sweden is now moving down for the bell tower. They want it back as the triple altar phase is starting up. Shockwave in the back, and here comes the arrow, and Rhaegar gets wrecked. This time he wasn't quick enough with the Ancestral. They're trying to go for Nick. Level 16 is available for the Swedes, and they lock it in quickly. A 5 versus 4 in their favor. But here comes the kill on Hogger as Sergeant Hammer gets the auto attacks. They're trying to go for Henning, and Stukov is in a really bad spot. The Admiral about to be demoted as the attacks are yeah, they are going to get him. Slowing him down a little bit. Nick gets shoved away. Stiff-armed by Stukov. He's definitely trying out for the NFL here. Nice play by him, but Genji also died. So as is, we have still 3 altars up on the map, but a big battle for them as both teams still have 3 heroes up on the map. Shots are fired, 5 since the bell tower hasn't been claimed yet. Svamgrotta at the top left has managed to steal an altar away from Germany, and now with Gia channeling on the right side, they get 6 shots in total against the 5 that Germany fired their way. So another set of altar shots comes in, 26 points to 14 now, and Sweden is at this point going to rotate back down to the bottom of the map and finish off that bell tower. Or at least that's the plan here. Germany thinking for just a second if they should get Sergeant Hammer in position, but given the fact that the bell tower was already extremely low in HP, they can't really make that play. So Sweden is trying to bring it back. Sweden attempting to bring this one back, looking good right now. 8 kills to 4 for Germany, but only half a level that Sweden is behind. So they really closed the gap pretty significantly. And they are thinking about invading here again, maybe flanking in from the side. And talking about flanking and invading, it seems like Genji is getting cheeky again. So Dino continuously poking and looking for targets that he can attack. Jet Propulsion misses in this case. Down to the bottom of the map, another rotation from the Swedes as they are trying to take not only the pumpkins down, but maybe also gank up on one of the heroes. Nick sitting at the side, Lauber instantly jumping over, looking for the aggressive plays as usual. I like the way Sweden is playing this. Sweden is honestly looking continuously for aggressive plays they can make. The problem for them is that the continued pressure on lanes like the bot or the top lane results in them losing ground, structurally speaking. Another bell tower converted over in favor of Germany. And this just comes in as the altars are activating. Now, they could definitely suffer a few shots. You can always go for the easy trade and just allow 3 shots to be fired against you and then wait for level 20. But of course, in an ideal world, Sweden would now hope to get both of these altars, since they just have no hopes of taking those bell towers back in time. But apparently, they're just gonna settle for 1 set of shots, so it's 5 shots fired against 3. Germany, therefore, dropping the red team down into the single digits, and more importantly, only half a level away, not even, from level 20 and their Storm Talons. So the big important mission for Sweden is to get XP, to make sure that they're getting their own level 20 and can fight in one of the next battles. And it's honestly not really going to be all that easy. 23 against 9 points is not really too bad, but there's a boss still up for grabs that you could take to make it 5. And then, of course, you need to battle it out at some point. Sweden decides that they're going to go for it before level 20 hits. Rega with an Ancestral didn't have the upgrade on 28. Here comes the BFG. Storm Talons are in. Hanzo gets killed. And so does Muradin. Down they go, double kill for Germany, and now full control, of course, over the map. A level 20 advantage for them. And in addition to that, a 5 versus 3 numbers advantage on the map, which now leads to them attacking even more bell towers. Obviously trying to finish the Swedes off. If they can get full control over the bot lane and maybe also all the bell towers, and the game would end right here. The Haka has already identified that as a threat and moved towards the top to try and reconvert this one. But the bottom is still taken. They're moving in the middle now as well. The boss is up and could be taken. And if they get the boss plus the altar, they win the game right here. But nobody's making a move towards the boss. There's a few shots still fired. At least one, thanks to the full control that they had for just a moment here. But they're just going for pumpkins. 8 points on the core of the Swedish team. And they wait for Muradin and for Hanzo to come back. The boss has not been claimed by Germany, so the altar is not gonna end the game. But they can start to channel it. They're coming in, trying to get it before Muradin and Hanzo are back to business. The Haka coming in from behind, but Hogger is already low. He makes it out. Needs a heal, though. And as the shockwave, Stukov is once again getting attacked. Another hit, and Stukov goes down. 11 kills to 4 for the Germans. Hogger pogging himself to death. Hanzo barely escaping on the left side. Lauber on the run. And it is a disaster for Sweden. This is not going to work out for them. They already had to suffer 2 pumpkin shots, and now the channel is happening. Death Knight can end the game right here. 5-man team wipe as the entire team gets killed off the map. And this is the end. Germany with a 1-0 lead in the best of 5 against Sweden. Well done, nicely played. We're headed straight for map number 2. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 2. Germany with the lead in the best of 5 series. Sweden, as far as I know, I'm told that Sweden has a plan, and Lauber predicted a 3-1 victory for Sweden. So far, things are going according to plan. Let's just put it like that. So, a loss in game number 1. They didn't quite make it on Towers of Doom. Now we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity, which was the map choice of Germany. So another map that is really highly leaning towards teamfights. Tracer banned, Garrosh banned out as well. And very interested to see what we're getting from Germany in particular. I already like that Sergeant Hammer is just immediately out of the series, played in game number 1. But I would love for Abathur to at some point make an appearance, maybe even the Vikings. The fact alone that the Swedes just keep banning the Vikings is also interesting to me, because it really signals that they know that Germany might play them at some point, and can as well. Now, one of the things that I have actually not spoken about, but that should be fairly obvious. Now, this is obviously not the days of HGC, where a lot of the teams that played have been training like 8 hours a day. But currently there's a lot of scrims going on. So all of these teams are scrimming against each other, just preparing for the next play day, for the next matches. And there's been a lot of that going on. So everybody is just trying to improve a little bit and to train and to make sure, you know, that they are in top shape and can then qualify not only for the offline event, but also do well there. Because after all, not only do we have 4 countries from Germany being represented in Berlin, but also then one team from North America making their way over to Berlin and the team from Asia. Here in game number 2, what we're getting is an early pick into Liming. So it's again the just siege on the Immortal, firing away. Ultralisk, after playing a very stationary hero in game number 1, he's now being let off the leash with Maiev, and he can bounce and jump around a little bit more. Anduin together with him. So even if Ultralisk is going a little bit too deep, Anduin can help him out there. But yeah. Johanna and Brightwing. Okay, the Fruit Fly is in the house. And what do we get in regards to bans now? Yeah, you got on Battlefield, you are playing with the blind, Brightwing for the side control. You can also screw my F a little bit. You have the Blessed Shield, that's another one. And Germany a bit hesitant on the bans. Okay, they get rid of Sonya. We've seen a lot of Sonya. Sonya is getting played a very high amount lately, which I personally like. So let's see what the Germans are picking next. I want to see what the range damage dealers are going to be. Vala, for example, is still up and could be played here very easily. Nick, what is he going to play, for example? What kind of tank is he going to go for that could be aggressive? I mean, Tyrael would be an option if they want to go hyper-aggressive together with Maiev and just look for team fights more so than anything else. Urel banned top lane, yeah. Trying to eliminate one of the side laners here. Greymane also still available, so if you're looking for mortal damage, Vala, Greymane, even Reyna could be played. We've seen a few bans against Jimmy just the other play there. I believe it was played in number 4, where he was banned out because of Exterminate on level 1. You don't see him as often anymore these days, but since heroes cannot be played more than once within a series, 10 heroes are now unavailable, so you can't go into that Hanzo pick any longer. And there is Vala. Chen on the side lane. Vala played by Dainu. And our final 2 picks for the team in red. Sweden, they lost my game number 1, so of course they want to bring it back now. And which heroes are they going to have at the top lane and for the additional damage to try and make that happen? Who's their solo laner against Chen? Ah, Tannis again. Tannis and Cassia. Yeah, Tannis with amateur opponent can of course give you an additional source of nice damage against the Immortal. The Hogger has been played already, Blaze has been played already, so they are whittling down the side laner pool a little bit. But with Tannis, they now have an option at the top lane for a couple of swaps and try to apply additional pressure. They have to go up against Vala, who is very likely going for added damage with arrows, and there comes Deathwing again. So Nick playing that tank Deathwing that I highlighted in game number 1 already. And with that, everybody, we are headed for the second map in this best of 5. Germany going up against Sweden, the top 3 fighting against each other in their attempt to solidify the number 1 spot. So let's check it out, which team claims victory on Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2, Germany on the left in blue with the lead in the series. Hazorbs on Chen on the side lane. We got Death Knight playing Anduin in the second game of the best of 5. Dainu on Vala, Nick on Deathwing, and Ultralisk on Maiev. On the right side of the map, we have Sweden with Svamgrotta on Atanis, Lauba is playing Johanna, Skok on Cassia, Gia on Liming, and Henning is rocking Brightwing. Let's go, let's check it out, and let's see which team is claiming victory on the second map. Also, a quick note again, if you guys want to support the channel, one thing that you can also check out is the merch shop that we have. We added it at the end of last year after people have been asking for quite some time. And by now we have a couple of collections actually in the shop, mainly shirts and also mugs. So if you're a coffee fanatic like myself, then that might be interesting. And especially if you're going to the Nations Cup, it might be interesting because we have a collection specifically for the Nations Cup. So you can check that out. And also the HGC merge, the Heroes Gaming Community, still alive and kicking despite Blizzard's best effort to kill it. So yeah, if you're interested, there's a link in the description and you can definitely have a look there. Some fun stuff, and we're of course going to try and add more in the future, but always dependent on if people actually enjoy the things there or not. With level 1, we now have stacks for both damage dealers, for both main damage dealers. I guess I'm selling Li Ming a little bit short, calling Cassia the main damage dealer here, but she is stacking, so we get the Thunderstroke on level 1. We have on top of that Ether Walk, and as you can tell, the Puncturing Arrow is now also in the house for Vala, so it's all about trying to get those stacks together. Doesn't really help too much on the first objective, but once that Monster Hunter is available with level 7, you're gonna see her be the main source of damage dealt to the Immortal. And if stacked properly in the early stages of the game, Vala can easily take an Immortal down completely by herself. So this is all coming down to whether or not Dino is able to get good stacks together against heroes. And early on, he's already doing a decent job right here. 5 stacks, fine. 7 stacks for Cassia. Important game for Sweden. Very important one. You don't want to go 0-2. It's not impossible to come back if you're that far behind, but it takes a lot. It makes it really difficult here. So, Nick again with this main tank Deathwing that we've now seen multiple times, and he has actually a lot of success with it, and now playing it also against an absolute top contender. Sweden, of course, very strong team. And it is a first blood kill for Germany as they take Cassia down. So Cassia eliminated, Triumvirate on level 4 for Li Ming. Brightwing hasn't chosen yet, but is probably going to spit around a little bit. And we got the repeating arrow here. And Brightwing with the unstable anomaly. Alright. Slow increase right here. And a little bit of extra damage. Immortals coming up. And 6 arrow stacks for Dino. Timing the camp a little bit better. Whereas on the right side of the map, Sweden is taking their own. The stage is set. We're getting ready. Yep, Nick is alive and kicking at the bot lane, controls the experience here, and has by now helped the German team to get a half-level lead over their opponents. And Vala is immediately on the Immortal. And of course, always use the repeating arrow here to get some extra damage out. But Monster Hunter, as I explained previously, is not available yet. Still nice damage by them. Atan is nowhere near the Immortal, so that's a little bit of a nuisance for them, but they still have Cassia and they also have Li Ming. The nice thing with Li Ming, of course, is that she can always sit at a distance, like here for example, just gets her combos out and fires them at the Immortal, and then either you take the damage or you throw a hero in the way of those abilities, and then yeah, you're eventually going to lose somebody. But this is a victory for Germany on the first one, so already doing a great job with the Immortal damage, even before Vala gets to level 7. And by now we have 8 stacks for Dino. I mean, nothing to write home about just yet, but it's definitely going to help them if he can stack early on with the next objective. He is going to have level 7 available, and then things are really going to start escalating, and Sweden will have to decide how they want to play it. Do they force the team fight? Do they fully commit to a race on the Immortal? Time will tell. Monster Hunter is available. Deathwing flying in again, and they are trying to keep that Immortal alive for as long as they can. With the talent advantage, they can push us a bit further. The fort is going to take damage for sure, and now Atanis is slowly starting to move all the way up towards the top. So, here we go. Halfway done with the damage output on the fort. Immortal able to chip it down a bit further even. And Vala still stacking. Vala with 11 stacks. Still not taken down. Comes back in again. And they get another one and a double kill. Cassia and Jojo both dead, and additional stacks for Dino. Things are really looking good for Germany. I mean, they have been an absolute dominant force in this qualifier thus far. But as explained earlier, they have neither faced off against France nor Sweden until now. But at least for the time being, they're looking very, very good here. Coming in again and taking the 4 top side, since of course Sweden wasn't ready for the defense. They lost 2 of their heroes and couldn't get them back into the fight in time. 28 stacks for Cassia, so she's also doing a very good job with the stacking progress here. Whereas Svamgrota at the bottom of the map has done a bit of structural damage and was of course also trying to get the team into experience range again. They're trailing by a level already. Yeah, nice, great swap. But Anduin, yeah, Anduin is just a killjoy. Anduin just doesn't like fun. German confirmed. Every single time you think you finally have a kill and you make a big play to facilitate that, he's just coming in and is like, nah, not on my watch. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, pulls Vala out of harm's way, just as Svamgrota is trying to make the play. Next objective, next Immortal is announced. And now Vala can, of course, chunk it. And for Sweden, this is a worst-case scenario pretty much, because not only are they now going up against Vala, who's already waiting on the Immortal spot, but the problem is that level 10 is insanely close. Germany is going to get level 10 in a second, and Sweden is trailing so far behind that this is very likely going to be a very huge shield on the Immortal. Now, as I say that, Germany is actually not defending their own Immortals. So Sweden moved in and tried to raise them on the halftime show. Now that heroic abilities are available for the blue team, of course they won't be able to do that after the Immortals reposition. They already are in trouble down here and might lose one of their heroes, because this is not looking good for Cassia. So yes, she's gone. But it's still a pretty solid shield for Germany. I gotta give it to Sweden though. I didn't really think that they would be able to take this much of the hit points, this many of the hit points away. But Dino, easy peasy for him. Takes it down, 5 kills to 0. They're trying to extend this even further as they go up to the top and take down Trash Tannis. Yep, there it is. Tannis dead once again. And that is now 6 kills to 0. So, yeah, getting wrecked once more. Now, Chen is still holding on to the top lane. Level 10 is available for Sweden, so that's the good news. The bad news is that this Immortal is gonna hurt. We're still early in the game, but oof, damn. 18 stacks for Vala. Maiev missing the disc here. Yeah, Ultralisk apparently having more than only one beer this Sunday morning. So here comes the top keg play from Chen, alright. But he can't isolate Cassia properly. And the Immortal taking out the fort. Yeah, Tannis with his own ult, but apparently the German team discovered the secret counter. Running away from it. Chen, on the other hand, damn, panda abuse right there. China has been informed and will reduce the social credit score of Liming. That is not cool. Killing pandas is just not okay. They are protected, and apparently Li Ming was not really interested. Light bomb engage, and the stun. Ultralisk, and here comes the quick attack from Deathwing as the Master Chef is going for the barbecue. And Maiev goes down. I honestly think that Death Knight baited Ultralisk in. I don't think that Death Knight really wanted to go there. I really don't. I think he was just faking it a bit, and then Death Knight put on the light bomb, and then Ultralisk was like, yeah, okay, I'm going. And then he died. And Vala died too. She's at 25 stacks, which is very solid. But that's 3 kills now for Sweden. So finally they're putting a few points onto the board, at least on the kill count, and they're closing the gap in experience. They lost 2 of their forts already, so the situation is dire enough as is. But at least this gives them an opportunity to slowly bring this back. Cassia has been stacking well. She's sitting at 48. We have 25 stacks for Vala. And looking at the damage numbers, Vala still a little bit ahead. But Cassia is doing alright here. And if she can continue stacks, then we're gonna have her with solid damage as this continues. But Sweden might even get the early level 13. By the way, Cassia died 4 times. She's definitely the primary target for Team Germany. Now, at the bottom of the map, the wall is gone. Immortal hasn't been announced yet, but it's gonna happen any second. The Immortal fight will play out with both teams having access to level 13 talents. And yep, there it is. So, the Immortal announced, level 13 slowly kicking in, and that gives us Gloom and also the new boots for Anduin. He was always a fashionista, so always up to the latest fashion. And apparently the Lion Speed boots are the latest and greatest. Now, with Illusionist on level 13, it also means that Li Ming might go and be a bit more aggressive around all of this. But yep, Vala is trying to start poke in and chunks the Immortal down super quickly. It's actually disgusting how much damage you can do with the arrow build of Vala. It's really kind of nuts. But the Swedish team is now moving in and trying to pay them back in kind. So Li Ming is unleashing one combo after another. Skok on Cassia is poking from a distance as well. We have slowly on the Piggy our boy coming in here, Artanis, with some extra damage. And Germany is actually letting all of this happen. So right now, Germany trailing on the immortal hit points. Down to the bottom of the map, right wing, with the help of Li Ming, is making sure that the keep is not going to take too much damage here from the camp and catapult. But it opens up a chance for Germany to maybe force the fight. Yet Disc is already out on Li Ming. Dino with the ult, and they're diving in deep, trying to follow up now. Immediately, the ult from Artanis on Deathwing. Nick dodging out on most of the damage, and Cassia didn't make it. Vala came in, took her down, and they're trying to follow it up with the second kill. Gia already moving back out, but the Immortal, of course, now in real trouble. Good swap from Artanis. Anduin in a really dicey spot, but he gets out of harm's way. Li Ming didn't, so she's gone. Artanis is gone, and so is Johanna. Death Knight surviving with a big beast there here, getting pinged by the team. He's a happy panda, able to make it out there. 10 kills to 3 now for the Germans. And we have them on a level lead with another immortal claim. Deathwing ready at the bottom of the match to wreak havoc here and dish out damage. 31 stacks for Vala, 54 for Cassia. And everybody starting to gather up at the top to try and go for keep number 1. With the exception of Deathwing, so a bit of a multi-pronged attack now. And for the Germans, there's more good news because they are going to get level 16 together with it. That means double pull from Anduin. The Leap of Faith with the Glyph of Faith is now in the house. We get this seething hatred for Dino as he's trying to get even more damage out. And Deathwing is now saying hello up at the top too. So yes, they want to make sure that this keep falls. Sweden in some trouble. So, what can they pull off with this? What can they do here? 33 stacks for Dino, 35,000 damage. He's trying to get a bit more. Disc is out and used against Cassia, who already rushed away here. Once again, the laser show against Deathwing. Nick unimpressed, making his way back over and flies straight into the heart of the Spanish team. They still don't have level 16 talents. Their keep is gone and Germany is retreating. Yeah, the Germans, job done. And with that, they are just moving back. They don't have to fight on level 16. They're currently controlling the game. So there's absolutely no need to risk anything here. So, top side, camp is up and ready. Instantly claimed. No deaths on Death Knight, Anduin, and on Nick with Deathwing, by the way. So, down to the bottom of the map, camp claimed. We now have also level 16 for the Swedes, and in this case it's the Criterize. Deathwing up at the top, a little bit of side lane push. It's kind of funny considering that he is played as the main tank here. Nick has been playing this main tank Deathwing for a while now, and the strategy is really working for them. Having him as a bit of a global obviously is an added bonus, but it's always interesting to see that, and it's working well for them. No other team has really picked up on this yet, but the Germans are having a lot of success with that particular strategy. Now, until now, they always played against underdogs, so you always had to think, okay, is this something that will work also against a stronger opponent? And it seems like it does. And here comes the next Immortal. And, yeah, Vala's gonna like that. Again, she's crushing it on those. Now, as you can tell, with still a level advantage, a little bit more than that even, the Germans are hoping to get to level 20 pretty quickly, as long as they're not getting murdered on the next Immortal. It's going to be nice for them. The problem, of course, for Sweden... Oh, no. Oh, Lauber, yeah, he needs to get out here. He needs to get out and needs to get out quickly. Already, the top cake plays to create some space. They still want to make the play there. Laser show is unfolding right in front of us, and yeah, it seems that a couple of ults get exchanged, but nobody is dying just yet. Vala gets some shots off against the Immortal, passing by, and that means that it's already chunked down by roughly 20%. But Sweden now on their way towards the blue team's Immortal. They are trying to finally win an objective here in game number 2 of this best of 5 series. And they really have to. Germany seems like they're going to let the halftime show pass. They have already defended against the camp at the top. And Sweden now has to send heroes down to the bottom of the map. Because this keep is taking, again, damage. And you can't lose the final remaining keep. At some point, those catapults are just going to murder you. So Sweden played it well. Defended at the bottom of the map. No catapults left there anymore. Halftime show is happening now. And this is going to be the big battle. For Sweden, this is huge. They kind of need to fight this one. They cannot afford to lose another keep. Especially since they haven't taken down a single fort yet. Which means that there would be continuous catapult pressure from every single wave of Germany with no counter pressure at all from Sweden if the final structure falls. 10 kills to 3. Cassia has died 5 times, 28,000 damage for her. She's still top damage for the team. Nice combos from Gia now, as they're trying to take the Immortal down. Job well done so far. The Germans eventually will have to make a stand here. They're trying to go for a good angle, but they can't quite find it yet. Svangrotta against Dainu. Vala is low. Still alive though, and here comes the engage. The top keg plays as they're isolating Trash Tannis a little bit. Svangrotta very much alone. Fat Illidan high on his heels. They're going for him. Brightwing moving in now too. Another ult straight up for Chen. Nice combo from Liming. Big damage on Hazu. Is it enough though? Ultralis gets saved by Manduin. Hazu up snow. He falls, and so does Deathwing. Sweden, ladies and gentlemen, with some big damage and 3 kills in total. They still will have to send someone back. Maybe not. I guess the minions are going to take care of it, but at least some damage will be done. Dainu still moving around, trying to sneak in another double arrow. 1, 2, and that is another victory for Germany on the objective. The core of Sweden already down to 88%, half a level until level 20. Dainu is gonna die, tries to at least get a few more stacks in the process, but his main objective was of course to get to the Immortal and take it down, and he was able to pull that one off. Nicely done. So the Immortal for Germany. Honestly, this was totally worth it. Vala dying here made perfect sense. Now Sweden has to defend. They cannot let this keep fall. They gotta throw everything in here. If Sweden takes the Immortal, they might be able... Well, first of all, they would be able to take a fort. That's guaranteed. But they might be able to do more. They might be able to push this further and get a keep as well. And that was just prevented by Vala sacrificing herself. Now we have level 20 for the German team. They're getting a camp down here at the bottom of the map as well. Dainu, of course, with the Acrobat, which in and of itself is a huge boost now too. With 40 stacks, Vala is already an absolute menace. But now that Acrobat is in play, you can just solo that Immortal within seconds or just go for a hero, get additional stacks there and burst the damage in, trying to chunk them down to half HP or so. 80 stacks nearly for the Thunderstroke for Cassia, so Sweden still fighting back. The last fight, of course, went incredibly well for them. Looking very, very good with 3 kills in total. And if they can repeat that, then they have a chance here. So they might be able to turn this around after all. They've been holding on for dear life for a long time now with 0 structures at the top. But you can already tell how much these catapults have hurt previously. And it continues now. We're 19 minutes in. The core of the Swedish team is down to 88%. If these catapults make it through the top lane onto the core again, this might just be lights out. The problem for Sweden is still that they haven't taken any forts down. If at least these outer forts would have been destroyed, then they would have a catapult on every 3rd wave as well. That's a bit of counter pressure that helps them a little bit to keep control over these lanes, but that wasn't the case. Plasma burn now for Artanis, Invisible Friends for Brightwing, and another Immortal spawning. And this is where Sweden has to make a stand. I mean, this is their last chance, really. This Immortal is going to chunk. If they win this one, they might also be able to break through to the opponent's team. But look at Vala here. Dainu, coming in and burning this down. Easy peasy. Now we have Artanis on the other side. We got Cassia, we got Liming, so they're putting up a real fight. And they are able to win the halftime show. Sweden has been able to take this one. Vala, of course, very much alone when it comes to that. But yeah, here's another couple of hits that she gets out. And very quickly, they're taking the lead on this again. The good news for Sweden is that they've taken their own shaman camp, and that is now traveling through the top lane. So all these catapults that are slowly accumulating, you have to take this one down first. The bad news is, if for some reason this entire fight in the middle is just drawn out over and over again, then it will be a huge number of catapults that push in. Because at this point with the second catapult, they should be able to defeat this. Then the next one spawns, and then you have at least 3 to 4 that will arrive on the core. Now, this is going to take some time. But if they're all stalling in the middle, it's a possibility. So the attacks are coming once again. Yeah, and let's see what they can pull off here. This is where Li Ming really shines, because she is just firing one salvo after another over towards the Immortal. Everybody is looking for position here. Deathwing is getting slowly chunked down as he's throwing himself into the way of Li Ming's attacks. But now we have 2 catapults at the top. The Shaman camp, as predicted, has been defeated by them. Another engage happening by the Panda here. 3rd catapult is now joining the fun on the top lane. And Sweden is on a bit of a timer. Sweden has to be careful here. They're doing a good job on the Immortal, but they're also getting pushed back now. Here's the disc as they're getting attacked once again. Yeah, another hit coming through from Li Ming, and Vala gets saved. 42 stacks for her. Deathwing attacked again by Artanis. The catapults are on the top, are pushing the lanes further out. So, a 4th catapult is coming in soon. The Immortal's still getting attacked. Ultralisk! Killed by Chia. Chia with a great play right there. And now it's an Immortal for the Swedes. Sweden with the big comeback, everybody. Huge comeback from the Swedish team. Massive amount of catapults at the top, but now Brightwing can deal with that easily. And this is going to be a huge threat to Germany, because this is a late game Immortal with a big ass shield, and Germany isn't even going for defense. Germany is currently trying to posture at the bottom of the map and force them to defend their core and keep, and that's big. So already they're moving in, and you can see that everybody up here is starting to hearth, is starting to rotate. The Immortal is going to take the fort down. That's going to be a given. Germany has postured a bit, but now they're going for defense after all. And I honestly don't like it. At least commit to the keep, but now they haven't defended. They've just let their fort fall. They are retreating, and they're going to suffer the consequences right here. Brightwing still at the bot lane. They could have pushed this a bit further out. They didn't. Deathwing with a superhero landing. And now, of course, the attempt by Vala to chunk this down quickly. But very likely a keep is going to fall in this encounter. They bought time for Maiev. That is definitely true. The keep is still in play. So all that Sweden accomplished is taking one fort out. And nearly destroy a keep, but they're not quite there yet. But they have won the last 2 team fights. Sweden won the last 2 battles. Germany has struggled ever since minute 19 to win these fights. And now, of course, they steal the camp. That's big good news, but here's a super important fight. Who's gonna take it? Once again, Deathwing with a big play. Cassia in trouble, and she's dead. Ultralisk, he's right in the thick of things, and they're taking down Jojo to a disaster for Sweden. Artanis is doing what he does best. He dies, and Brightwing is the only survivor together with, well, not together with Li Ming, she's dead too, so Brightwing the only survivor after all. 14 to 8 kills, and Germany on their way to a victory in game number 2. A fantastic comeback attempt by the Swedish team, but it just wasn't enough. They got so close. They dominated 2 of the final fights, but it wasn't enough to turn it around completely. Germany, they take a massive lead in this best of 5 here and play day number 5 of the European qualifier for the Nations Cup as the blue team locks in the W on Battlefield of Eternity. Well, we're headed for Braxis. So, boys, girls, a 2-0 lead for Germany. The German team looking, again, super strong here. if I'm not mistaken, this is now 14 maps in a row that they were able to win in the top 8. I'm not even accounting for the games that they played in the first group stage. Keep in mind, we started all of this with 16 teams, 16 European teams that signed up for the European qualifier. And yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, first of all, I was blown away when we had this many teams sign up in the first place. Of course, there were a lot of amateur teams and amateur players involved as well. But it's just pretty cool to see this many contributing here. But Germany, they've been crushing it. They've been crushing it in the round of 16. Now we're down to 8 teams and we play out the full round robin here. And they have not lost a map. Now we're heading into game number 3, which means that, of course, 20 heroes are unavailable. You can only play a hero once every series, which means that the 20 that have been played in game number 1 and 2 cannot be picked again. That doesn't really cause a big problem or anything, since we have 90 heroes in the game. But it forces the teams now to deviate a bit away from what we've seen thus far. So it's not going to get too boring for the audience and for the players either. But since we are on Braxis, this is match point. Sweden has lost 2. They had some very nice team fights on Battlefield of Eternity towards the end and nearly turned it around, but they weren't quite able to take the Germans down. And now they have to really figure out an answer to all of this. They won against France. Even if they lose to Germany here, technically nothing really changes for them in the standings. They currently have 2nd place. Germany is in the 1st slot. But it would, of course, be quite the statement if Germany would be able to take down another team out of the top 3 without even dropping a single map. That would be bonkers, honestly. That would be huge in and of itself. So right now, Sylvanas is the first pick on Braxis, and you can tell that Zarya got banned. So Zarya banning, this is a little bit of an adjustment. So the 2 bans on the German side are easily explained. When we're talking about Medivh, of course, he is a huge factor on a map like Braxis, because if you can rotate between the lanes very quickly, that really allows you to gank up on the opponent and to make some really cool plays. So getting rid of Medivh makes perfect sense here, especially since you have strong Medivh players on the side of the Swedish team. The ban on Zarya comes back to what I've been talking about in the last few playdays. Pretty much every single playdate that we've seen so far, Sweden has at least on one map tried to play Garrosh plus Zarya. It's a very strong composition for them on any map that favors strong 4-mans, and this is one of them. So Germany just says, yeah, we know that you like this, and we're not going to give you an opportunity. We're going to ban this out right away and see what else you got. Anubara Kerrigan. Definitely an aggressive opening again for the Swedes. I like that they're not just sitting there saying like, we need to play this safe. They're like, boys, we need to do something. We need to come in. We need to take the Germans on. Let's bring the fight to them and apply pressure. If it works, fantastic. And we'll check it out. So Anubara Kerrigan, the pick for them. We got Rexa, we got Junkrat on the side of Germany, which is already a very strong side laner, of course, since he alone can control the beacon and also the lane experience. Garrosh gets banned. No chance to follow up an Anubarak stun with Tyrande, so she's also now eliminated. And on the left, for the blue team, Team Germany, they still need a hero for Nick. I could see him play again at some point as Tyrael. Now, this might be the last map, but he goes for Arthas here. But, yep, and we get Karazim. Yeah, Nick with Arthas. We have seen this interplay between Arthas and Kerrigan a few times now already. In the days of old in the Alpha, when both of them had Envenom as their, I believe, level 4 talent. They were usually played as a combo, so you had Arthas and Kerrigan played by the same team, and it was totally devastating. For a while it was really, if both of them were drafted by one team, it was pretty much GG go next. It was of course years and years and years ago. But now we get even more melee characters for Sweden. They're going for Sonya too. She's going to be the side laner, of course, for them. They needed somebody there. It wasn't going to be Kerrigan. And we have Malfurion for Henning, so the follow-up after Nubarak stun is there. And with Ultralisk, what are we getting from him? We still need a little bit more damage from them. They have a nice lineup here for the bot lane already. Rexa's going to be up at the top, and Ultralisk with Alarak. Game number 3. Braxis Holdout, everybody. Match point for the German team. Sweden, they want to bring this one back. Can they win the 3rd map? Well, we're going to find out now on Braxis Holdout.
We're about to
2-0 lead for Germany. Hazob's on the left side for the German team with Rexa. We get Nick on Arthas, Death Knight on Karazim, Dino with Junkrat, and Ultralisk with Alarak. On the right side, the Swedes. Unsuccessful thus far, but with very nice aggressive moves on both maps. On Battlefield, they nearly turned it in the late game. We're barely missing out on it. Strong team, of course, very experienced team. We have them with Svamgrota on Sonya, we have Gia on Kerrigan, Skog on Sylvanas, Henning on Malfurion, and Lauber plays Nubarak. Yeah, and immediately in the middle of the map, everybody is just collapsing on the targets. Arthas gets hit hard by the combo, and they're unleashing everything. And Nick goes down. Damn, that was quite the start into the game. Nobody spreading out on the lanes. Instead, everybody moving into the middle. And then it's just fireworks. Absolute fireworks. Holy hell. So yeah, first blood for Sweden. Job well done. Nicely played. We have Emerald Dreams on level 1. We got the Overwhelming Affliction. Things are stabilizing a little bit with top and bot lane now being set up. But boy, oh boy, what a start. And they are laying another trap. It's a trap. But there's a few too many heroes for the blue team. So Lauber and Gia are just moving away. But I like the aggression. I said it before and I say it again. I love the fact that Sweden has clearly decided that they will be aggressive. And Dino is now paying the price for this. So Dino is gonna fall. No chance for him to escape. That is Junkrat eliminated. And Sweden with 2 kills to 0. So job well done. Obviously, we have still a camp claimed by the German team, which they can now use at the top lane to apply a bit more pressure. Hazobs is already channeling the beacon too, so we'll see if they can maybe get some progress done for the Zerg wave, for the first one. But I love that everybody is just looking for kills right now. They're not playing this safe, no, they want to be aggressive. Another combo on Arthas. Nick turning it around with a Howling Blast. Skog has to retreat. Gio and Kerrigan is dead. Nicely done. So, Kerrigan is gone. We have 1 kill to 2, Germany responding in kind, and they have double beacon control. With Kerrigan gone, nobody will be able to retake down at the bottom of the map for a couple more seconds. So this is actually a big lead now for Germany on the objective. They're already sitting at 50% here. If they can make it 100 to 0, that would be big. Especially if they can get the kill. And no! Lauber! Oh, he dies at the worst moment in time, just as Kerrigan is back to business, trying to help the team to reclaim control over the objective. This is going to be a big Zerg wave for Germany. 100 to 0. Yeah, this is going to hurt. That bot lane pressure is going to wreck a lot, especially since the wall is pretty much destroyed. So they might even lose a fort here, always depending on how many heroes Germany is going to send down to the bottom of the map. But of course, this is just rough. And once that you lose control over the lane, once those forts are gone and the fountains disappear, it makes it so much harder to take beacon control in this particular lane. Another setup from both teams, well executed. Alarak is dead, Karazim too. 2 heroes gone on the German side. And Kerrigan pays with her life, but I think that's a price that she's very willing to pay. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of Sweden. And they go for number 3. They go for Nick, and he is gone. Yeah, spam this brick to cheer for Nick, because he definitely needs cheering up a little bit. Died twice now already, and they could not take down that fort. So very good defense by Sweden. Well done. Really good defense by them. And they are now ahead in experience and ahead in kills too. So well played. Level 1 we got a Rhyme. We also have on level 4 now the Grizzled Fortitude. And Sweden is starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. They're definitely feeling a bit more comfortable. Hazob still totally safe, and he's baiting them in a little bit. I like this trap that they have. And now they're trying for Sonya. Can they get her here? Oh, yes, they can. What a brilliant execution of that play. Sonya gets caught just at the gate, and then she gets killed. Well done. Lauba is now jumping in, so they're trying to get a kill too. The combo from Karrigan, not strong enough though, or is it? They go for Karazim, can't claim victory on him, down to the bottom of the map, as all of this plays out Junkrat with the damage. But this is how this started. This is a little play at the top that we just saw a second ago. So they had the trap set up. Sonya even saw this coming more or less and nearly retreated past the gate, but then she gets caught and they get the kill. Talk about kills, Raxa gets killed at the top as Sweden moves in for a kill themselves. So yeah, it's a nice back and forth here. Blow for blow, kill for kill. One at a time, 6 kills to 4 now, beacons activating again, and a numbers advantage on the map for the Swedish team. Both teams with level 7 ability. Nubarak after the bed of barbs going into the subterranean shield for the engage, and we got the boundless fury. I would be mad too. Can totally understand that Karrigan is mad. I would be mad as well. So with Sylvanas, if you get a big Zerg wave, you can of course... Oh no, Lauba, not again! Just as the beacons are there, he dies once more. So, Lauba gone, they take control over the bottom beacon, and now Raxa is up at the top. The stun doesn't connect on Karazim, and Germany might just be able to claim another objective. Even if they're not able to get the entire thing, they're already making good headway to ensure that if Sweden gets the 100%, they at least have a solid number there too. 34% already. Bit of a play through the middle as they're transitioning topside again. The play is being made by Sweden for the beacon. And Nubarak diving in. Alarak being hit once, twice. Karrigan jumping in, looking for the combo. Can't find it just now. 76% for Germany. Yeah, Misha gone. Arthur's on his way towards the top. And at least Sweden was able to stop the beacon from counting in. But Arthur's is now ready to start and engage in the battle. So yeah, gets the Howling Blast here. They need a follow-up though. Lauba a bit low, so is Skork. Karrigan in trouble too, and she's the first one to fall. Beacon is about to be claimed again. Nice route, slowing them down a bit further, so they can't even go for the beacon here. And this is going to be another 100-0 wave in favor of Germany. This is a huge problem. This is the second 100-0 objective that they were able to get. Level 10 abilities are in. And immediately the deadly charge for Alarak, apparently fat-fingering this a bit. And of course, now that the boss is also about to be claimed, matters are getting worse and worse for Sweden. So, yeah, that is getting problematic. Up at the top, they're going for the fort now. Down to the bottom of the map, it is Raxa, the defense alone. Now, of course, we're still only 7 minutes into the game, so it's not like the objective has scaled fully yet, but this is still problematic. Arthur's attack, they throw everything at him. Nick, how is he alive? Finally he dies, and so does Junkrat. Every time Sweden has to defend against the objective, they are able to somehow pull it off. This is kind of bonkers. Kind of bananas. So, yeah, here we are, 6-2-8, and down to the bottom of the map. Obviously, the defense was pretty easy for Raxa. I think actually they had at least a few points. They were not quite down at 0, Sweden that is. But either way, they are still on level 11. We have 8 kills to 6. The problem for them still is the fact that they are losing ground. And with the fort at the top now lost, as explained previously, it more so means that they have also lost their thingy. Their fountain. So they can't retreat there any further in order to get themselves some hit points and some mana. So this is a massive problem for them. And the bigger issue that they're facing now. The next beacon phase, at least at the top, is going to be much easier for Germany because they still have their own fallback option and the fountain available. So Sonya, if she still stays at the solo lane, is going to have a big problem there. Now, well, we have still level 12 for both of them. Another engage happening. 7-sided strike by Death Knight to deter them. Leap by Sonya. The ults are getting YOLO'd out here. Everybody's trying to go for another kill, but it seems like Germany is going to have more success than Sweden as they go for Sonya, drop her after she came in with Leap. But Nick is low, so is Dino. Both of them with only a few HP left here. Thankfully for Arthas, he's still able to rely on his ult, and with the army of the dead, he comes in and gets a kill on Anubarak. Alarak helping out, jumping into the back. Arthas dead finally, and Junkrat gets killed by Kerrigan. Gia, he's really fighting tooth and nail to make sure that his team is not being eliminated from this series. Chrysalis on level 13 now. Sweden with the earlier level 13 talent. And they are going topside to deal with the camp and wave. Svamgrotta ready down to the bottom of the map as level 13 talents are now available for Germany too. They're still trying to push this a bit further, always in the hopes of taking this fort down and denying another fountain and fallback to the Swedish team. Yeah. Interesting game for sure. Very, very interesting performance and back and forth battles between the two. 23,000 damage for Sylvanas, 28,000 damage for Junkrat. He died 3 times. Arthas died 4 times. And now they take control over the top. At the bottom of the map though, bit of a trap is being set. Oh, Anubarak diving the wrong direction. Kerrigan looking for a combo, not executing it yet, holding the cooldowns back a little bit, waiting for a better opportunity. As Junkrat is starting to take the Riptide out. Buys a bit of time, jumps back out. Dino therefore threatening Henning. And they go again for Anubarak. But this time the leap is perfect. The leap is perfect in the choke point, and with the follow-up from Sylvanas, they can take Alarak down. Karazim is dead too. 12 kills for Sweden, 8 for Germany. Nick gets attacked, the fort disabled, and Arthas is gonna die again. Sweden on an absolute tear. Dino was able to get the control for another moment, so they get some points on the progression. But after 34, Sweden is reclaiming possession of the bottom beacon and can now try to claim the one at the top. The Swedish team is an entire level ahead now. 1 level ahead. Anubarak is taking over right here, and things are starting to look better and better and better for Sweden. They were in real trouble here, but especially Kerrigan making some very serious plays. Good combos from her. Sylvanas, of course, with nice damage and good follow-ups after these stuns from Kerrigan and more so Sonya. The leap into the choke point was crucial in that situation. If Lauber would have died without them getting a counter kill, boah, they would have lost another objective with no chance whatsoever. So Sweden looking strong, waiting for level 16. They've fallen back a little bit and not insisted on trying to control the beacons just yet. So they have only 2 points. Germany with a little bit more. They are now at 44. As they've taken both, again, the rotational plays that we're seeing from the blue team. Still very strong. And again, the quick reminder, this is match point. Germany would be able to walk away with a 3-0 victory if they take the win on Braxis. Misha gets attacked. Junkrat very deep as he takes another minion wave down. Now, one of the goals, obviously, is to ensure that they're getting level 16 in a reasonable time frame. Germany is trying to buy themselves a bit of time. They don't want to fight. Not against an opponent that has a talent advantage over them. So Junkrat moved back. Beacon control fully in the hands of Sweden now. They got the painful spikes, and now the zoning begins. This is exactly where Sweden is trying to control the map now. Junkrat buying more time for Germany as he goes towards the top and takes it away. 44 to 42%. Rest of the blue team trying to prevent the fight from happening. 7-sided strike is out. Cocoon has been used. Malfurion laying down the lawn. And the Ultralisk and the leap. Alarak is gone. But they can go for Lauber. And no, he's still alive. They couldn't kill him. And instead, Karazim falls. But Dino is just completely annoying them. Dino took both of them. And is at 80% now for the team. Finally, they're trying to deal with him. Junkrat being utter nuisance here. And Dino is just a total pest. So, very likely he's now going to get killed by Kerrigan. Dodges the combo! Dino, for the love of God! There we are. Finally a kill for them. They're trying to retake at the bottom of the map, but they got 86%. It's actually disgusting how long Dino was able to run circles around the Swedish team, getting beacon access, and even with 100% for the Swedes, 86% is nothing to frown upon. And Germany bought so much time. They bought so much time, and they are now at level 16 themselves, ready for the defense. So this is really interesting. It doesn't change the fact that Sweden has a 1.5 level lead over the blue team. But still, very, very sexy plays here. And Junkrat just a massive pain. Now, the bottom Zerg wave gets very quickly eliminated. Everybody is chipping in here. Up at the top. Don't think this fort is going to fall too quickly either. The problem for them is really that Junkrat wasn't here. But Sweden is deciding to go for the bot lane attack either way because they have Sylvanas. So with her help, they are trying to take that wall down. And Germany is most likely going to allow for it if that means they can save their fort at the top. Where they're going to draw the line is the keep itself. So, yeah, that's the thing. But at the top, we got now, well, the attack for the fort. Germany is trying to collapse onto it. 2-level advantage now for Sweden. Germany will have to force the fight eventually. That's going to be the problem for them. Nice explosion here on the Riptire. Makes it a little bit easier to take down the Guardians. But Germany, they need a teamfight victory if they want to claim a win on Braxis. That's just what it is. Structurally, the teams are even. Sylvanas hasn't fallen. Malfurion hasn't fallen. Sweden feels confident taking away a camp of Germany here. And yeah, the Germans, they have to decide when they want to make a stand. And where exactly. Another leap, another combo, and Alarak is dead, and so is Karazim. Sweden is crushing them. Gia is honestly going full beast mode together with Sonya. They get 3 kills. Svamgrota and Gia single-handedly destroying the German team. Always nice follow-ups, but the CC chains from those two in particular are nothing but disgusting. Lauban is a Nubrak, always good for another quick isolation, for a quick cocoon to also deny heals. But the stuns that we're seeing from them is just crazy. So Germany, they get just whacked down. It's a game of Heroes of the Storm Whack-A-Mole that's being played by Sweden. So it's very likely a loss for Germany on this map. This would be their first map loss in this round of 8. We're not there yet, but since Arthas has now fallen up at the top, the fort falls without any damage on the boss. Boss has been claimed, level 20 is there. What's gonna stop them? What's gonna stop them? Sweden has everything they need. Everything. They have level 20, a 3-level advantage over the Germans. And they also have, of course, a boss that they can use with the help of Sylvanas to go for keep number 1 in this game. They're looking for kills, but Kerrigan, finally they get a kill. Germany still holding on. Still trying. Still confident. This is not bad. Gotta give some credit to Germany here. That was a very important and necessary kill. They're losing half the HP on the keep, so both of their keeps are now severely damaged. But they have a 5 versus 4 for another 40 seconds, and that would help them to get back to the beacons. If they bring this one back, that would be huge. If they can make that happen, that would be kind of crazy. Still 2 levels behind, by the way. 2 levels until level 20. So, yeah, Dino is setting things up already. They got 1 beacon. They're trying for number 2. Damage output from Kerrigan is at 41,000. And we have 47,000 for Junkrat, who's still sitting up at the top and doing his thing. But, yeah, let's see what they're going to do here. Already, we have Anubarak diving out. Kerrigan is back. Can they stagger a kill? Leap had to be used. They control Misha to make sure that that stun does not connect. This camp is most likely not going to make it. They might have to send somebody back, but it's a double beacon control again for Germany, so no matter what happens, they are already at 60, nearly 70% on the next objective. So yeah, good for them. Fight comes in. 20 again. Only one team has it. Lauber. They get another kill. How the hell is Germany able to get kills here? They are down the Storm Talents. They're nearly going... They're going to get Carrigan too. Bolt of the Storm. She gets out. Can they follow up on it? They're trying to go for Sonya again. Sonya! Spin to it, baby! And she gets out. It's Misha that falls. 5-4. Everybody on the run here on the Swedish side. They tried to turn it, but they lost Anubarak early before he could even use his cocoon, and it seems like this is going to be another big objective for Germany. They're on level 19 now, and all of a sudden they are winning team fights. It would have been great for them to take down Sonya. Now she's back with Leap, so she can use it again for an engage, and Anubarak will be back in time too. But this is still getting pretty bonkers here. Germany holding on for dear life and then starting to turn it. They lost at the bottom of the map their keep now. So one keep is already gone. The keep at the top is incredibly low. And they're not fighting with the Zerg wave either. They know that it's much more beneficial for them to wait for level 20 instead of trying to make a play up here. So, yeah. This is going to be big. Down to the bottom of the map. There they are pushing again. We have them about to take down a fort. Important so that they spawn a few catapults too, of course. But holy hell. What a game. What a series. Can Germany take the 3-0? They're certainly trying. But the stun combinations that we have seen from Sweden throughout all of this have been brutal. And Sweden is now trying to go for the top keep. They're trying to take this one out. Germany about to hit level 20. That could definitely help them also with survivability here. Arthur's with the Death's advance. Here we go. They're trying for another fight. This is big. This is important. Germany, Sweden. Who's going to take the fight? Who's going to take it here? Arthur's attacked and killed. Nick is dead. Cocoon on Karazim. Big damage. The leap on Karazim. They're trying to get him out of harm's way. But that's forlorn hope, and this should be it. With both of them gone, with Arthur's gone, with Rexa losing Misha, and with Karazim eliminated, they go for boss. They were actually looking for a second to go for keep and then for core, but instead they decide to make a play for boss because they know that this one will likely help them to end the game. Desperate moves by Germany now. The Germans, they're trying to come in with a Hail Mary and it's not working. Alarak went deep, he died. They can go for the boss, and this is gonna be the conclusion of game number 3. Sweden is going for it. Sweden, they have the boss, and now they have everything they need to end this game. Svamgrotta and his team, they're playing it slow, cool, calm, and collected. They tap the fountain before they retreat. They go for another camp at the same time too. 34 kills in total. Braxis is where Sweden makes their stand. Alarak down for 24 seconds. The boss already getting attacked. They're trying to defend here. And here comes Anubarak, trying for the stun. Misses one. They're going to take the keep down. What about the core? Can they end it? They're going to try. Sweden on their way to potential victory in game 3. Is it going to be the first map that Germany loses in this top 8? In this 8-team round robin? It seems likely. Arthur's in the back once again. Leap being used. 7-sided strike. Nick is alive. How? They go for him again. He's still alive. Sylvanas, Alarak, Junkrat, everybody dead or dying. The core is falling. Germany is defeated. A victory for Sweden on the 3rd map as the red team is starting their comeback in this series. GG. Infernal Shrines, game number 3. Well, let's go. We got the lead for Germany, but Sweden brought it back, and they also brought Germany to the brink of defeat. They actually defeated them in game number 3, so it's the first map loss that Germany suffered so far. And also, I'm losing my sanity a little bit. We have a discussion going on with Twitch chat right now, because for some reason we ended up talking about the Eurovision contest. You know, like this cringy song contest that they have in Germany at times. And I just said that this is another example where I think I belong to a different species, because I cannot watch this without being just completely... It really, like, if you want to torture me, this is the way to go. I will spill within seconds. I have friends that watch YouTube commentaries about the different songs and performances. They watch the qualifiers. It's a whole different universe in and of itself, and I cannot understand how anybody can watch this and actually enjoy it. If you watch it ironically and you're getting drunk with a couple of friends and you're taking the piss out of it, that's one thing, right? But if you watch it for real, I just don't get it. I watch this for 5 seconds and I can feel myself getting dumber. So it's really... highly interesting to me that there's a whole subculture that just adores this stuff. And somebody pointed out in Twitch chat earlier that apparently this gets 160 million viewers or something. So yeah, it's crazy. And again, that's coming from a guy that commentates video games for a living. But yeah, so Eurovision contest, yay or nay would be the question here. As Chromie is going for the definitely big yay here, Infernal Shrines. And again, Sweden proves that they hate fun. They had the chance to let Abathur through and they decided against it. Earlier they banned the Vikings. Like, what's wrong with this picture? There it is. How many times did I talk about this? How many times did I talk about this particular comp? This time Germany decided that they wouldn't ban out Zarya, but Falstad instead. And immediately Sweden is like, oh, look at that. Let's go. They get their Garrosh and Zarya composition again. Now that we are on Infernal Shrines. And that is a strong start for them. They are in their comfort zone right now. They love this. They absolutely love this. Leo and Deckard Cain, the picks on the sides of Germany. Leo for a lot of zoning that they can go here. And we got Deckard Cain, of course. Pretty much the same. So I kind of like what Germany is doing here. But every time that I see Sweden play this particular combo, they look so damn strong and they are so good at executing it properly. It's already terrifying, and they've only picked 2 heroes. It would be amazing if they force Game 5. Just imagine this going down to the wire here. If they are able to force all of this now. For a long time it looked even on Braxis as if they would lose the game. And it would be a 3-0 victory for the Germans. But now they locked in the first point for the scoreboard, and they are starting off strong. With Jaina banned, what's the follow-up? What are they gonna get next here? A little bit hesitant on that as well. I mean, you need some damage, right? So Jaina was banned. If you are able to go for a Garrosh and a flip, then you can't get the burst damage out. But with Malthael, they still have somebody that can drop the hammer quickly. And talking about hammers, they go for Uther. So a different style of hammer time, but we still got the added stun. So very terrifying. Technically, they could also go for Malthael, Tormented Souls with Uther Divine Shield, I suppose, but I don't think that with this particular combo, this is what you're looking for. Final 2 picks for the Germans. We still need a main tank for Nick. You could go Tyrael, maybe. And that's Tyrael. Tyrael and Gul'dan. Alright. This is awesome. I really like the situation that we're in right now, because it seems that Sweden is gaining a bit of momentum here. They played a fantastic third game. Fantastic stun combos in particular. And now they have a composition that is nothing short of terrifying. So, last pick for Gia. He was crushing it on the third game. And now we're gonna have him on the final pick. It is Greymane. Let's go, everybody. Game 4. Who's gonna take it? Germany, Sweden. Are we going to game number 5? Let's find out. Prepare yourself for battle. On the left for Germany, Dainu on Chromie. Yay! We got Hazu on Leoric, Ultralisk on Gul'dan, Nick on Tyrael, and Death Knight is playing Deckard Cain. The Swedes, after the victory on Braxis Holdout, now with Svamgrotta on Malthael. We got Lauba on Garrosh, Skok on Zarya, Gia on Greymane, and Uther is played by Henning. So, their combo, can they execute it again? Garrosh, Zarya, Speed Bubble on level 4, and then you just run into the opponent, flip a target, and take it down probably after a stun from Uther himself. We get the Fell Flame build from Gul'dan, Pursuit of Flame here on level 1. Austin's Renewal is in, and instead of going for the Deep Breathing, we have the once again the first time. As Nick is getting attacked, but immediately makes his way back out. The mobility, of course, is there for him. Will likely play the aggressive variation of the Tyrael build, the one that he championed initially. So we have him now with the Ardent Restoration as the level 1 choice. But this is going to be pretty big. I really like that we're going to game 4 with this. And I want to see if Germany is capable of taking down the Swedish Death Comp. Greyman is already getting attacked here. Nice moves also against Malthael, but the fight is not over by any means, since Deckard Kane who dies first. Well played by Lauber here too. So the old man gets bullied and taken down. Yeah, that is first blood. I said it in the draft. The second that they locked in their Garrosh and Zarya, I was like, uh-oh, this could be a problem. Now, once level 10 hits, there's of course a lot of fantastic tools that Germany can use to try and disrupt these fights a little bit, especially Horrify on Gul'dan. But every time I see Sweden play this, they just look so strong with it. They were the ones that initially started to come up with this particular combo back then on Battlefield of Eternity. I'm talking really back in the day here. So years and years past. But they've played it since a lot, and it had a little bit of a resurgence during the Nations Cup, where they locked that combo in nearly every single match that they played thus far, with very few exceptions. Where Garrosh was, for example, taken by an opponent earlier, and they couldn't pick him then later in the game. But here we are. We have 4 now, 1 kill, 2-0. And on top of that, another flip here against Nick. But he has the mobility and can easily move out. So there it is. The speed barrier is in the house. Time for Garrosh to do his thing. Objective gets announced in 10 seconds, so the teams are starting to get busy on their mercenary camps, making sure that they're getting the lead here. 16 stacks now for the Fell Flame on the left side. Chromie still rushing around and trying to take down this one. Spray game is also on point, as you can tell. But the Shrine is activating, and everybody is hoping for a bit more experience, so they might be getting level 7 just a tiny little bit faster than their opponent for the fight. Nick also, as expected, Divine Vigor now on level 4. Yeah, and it's party time! Let's get the show on the road! Or are they going instead for the bottom wall? That could of course be a neat variation too, but Chromie is already here. So, Dino for Team Germany is getting the damage out, and they are totally unimpressed. Gia is actually moving away, counting down the cooldown on the abilities himself, and they take the tower apart. They have now the lead in experience. So Sweden has the lead in experience in the earlier level 7, but we are seeing Germany with a slight advantage on the stacks as they already look at 14. But everybody is starting to come now together in the middle of the map to try and get another kill. Gul'dan talking about kills, he's down, and Sweden! Kill number 2! Level 7, and they are looking strong. They've drawn even with Germany on the stacks for objective number 1 for the Frozen Punisher. And now they're making another move straight into the Shrine, looking for another stun. Grenade with the follow-up, and Tyrael is gone. Sweden is crushing it right now. Absolutely crushing it. Their combo is working incredibly well for them. They have 3 kills to 0. They've taken the lead in experience, and now they are going for the first Punisher, which is a Frozen Punisher that they can now use in the middle to do their thing. So, job well done. That is actually a very cool start for the Swedish team. So, yeah, well done here. But again, with this, we now have them in a pretty good position to maybe even take the fort itself down. So, yeah, down to the bottom of the map. They are also making a play to just defend and get the experience. And at the same time, with the defense from the blue team, we now see them, of course, also a little bit behind. They've still held on to their fort in the middle, so that's the important part. The structure was damaged and the wall was taken down, but generally speaking, there is still a significant advantage for the Swedish team, thanks to the lead and experience that they currently have here. And yeah, they're still moving all the way up towards the top to make sure that Hazop is not getting too much value for Germany, since of course he's taken advantage of them abandoning the top lane a little bit. Takes one of the towers down, but it's about the lead in XP, the early level 10, and what you can do with it. Heroic abilities are going to be ready for Sweden in a moment. And then they're going to start making their moves here. So yeah, level 10 is ready. We already have now the last rights in play. So Germany is going to be a bit hesitant to engage before they have their own heroic abilities. Chromie, of course, being the exception here and already anchoring the play at the side just a bit. Always have to be careful, especially when they don't know where exactly Garrosh is positioned. So, level 10, ready in a moment for the Germans, and then it's time to fight back for them. I highlighted particularly Gul'dan with his ult earlier today, and he now has Horrify. And Nick has gone into Judgment, so they want to be aggressive with this. They're trying to shut them down early. Hazops, yeah, he's gonna lose his life, activating the trait and granting a stack to Malthael, who's now at a 5-second cooldown reduction on his ult. 4th kill for Sweden. But they are... Nah, they're not going to get Lauber here. They're trapping him for just a second. 1 level lead still for the Swedish team. And they have now 10,000 damage for Greymane. If you look at the damage numbers, it's really not all that impressive. You have Chromie at 14,000, but obviously this is a lot of poke damage that's in here. Whereas every time that Greymane made an engage happen, it pretty much resulted in a kill. So yeah, they're just doing much better in their coordinated attacks against a single target that then allow them to take heroes down quite quickly. And yeah, this is obviously a huge problem for the Germans. But now they're trapping Lauber, and I guess this might just be the end of him. Are they going to commit? No, they're not. No Judgment after that, so they're just going for a bit of a trap here. Judgment was actually interrupted there, or on cooldown, one of the two. But I don't think I missed one, I might have. Nick is throwing these things out sometimes like they're candy. It's not really that big of a deal in regards to using a cooldown, because Leo will have his Entomb back for the next fight, but of course it would have been great for them if they could go and take at least one hero down. With Lauber eliminated, they wouldn't have to be afraid of him rushing into the backline and flipping a target back into the Swedish team and prepare another kill there. So level 13, this is their bigger issue. The level 13 talent as an advantage for the Swedes is giving them some real trouble here, and they gotta decide whether or not it's worth fighting for this one now. And apparently the decision has been made. They want to fight for it. Horrify might have to be used, but before Gul'dan gets a chance, he gets attacked and killed. Another kill for Sweden. 5 kills to 0. Make it 6. They take Deckard Cain down 2. And Sweden is absolutely kicking ass in this game. They are crushing the Germans. Absolutely murdering them. Germany has nothing to throw against them. They are struggling every step of the way right now. Sweden is absolutely dominating this. And they are now pulling farther and farther ahead in experience, which is going to make the problem for Germany even worse. If the Germans don't find a good fight and a good engage where they can net themselves a few kills and slowly start closing this gap in experience, they're going to be in for a very rude awakening in game number 4. And we would likely go to game number 5. Germany needs to bring something to the table. They fought with a talent disadvantage, of course, in the last encounter. Now they have level 13 and can use it here. But they've been struggling from start to, well, not quite finish, but at least at this moment in time. So the Punisher wants a piece, jumps in, gets baited. Leo's now trying to re-engage. Another flip, Judgment used. Can they take Lauber down? And the answer is no. Instead, it is Chromie that falls. Uther with the Divine Shield ready immediately as he realized that Garrosh might be in trouble. The fort has been destroyed. Death Knight might be in a real bad spot here too, since the Punisher wants a piece of the action. They go for Deckard Cain, and that is another kill for the Swedes as they come through the bottom of the map. They go through the Germans like hot butter through cheese, dropping them where they stand. Once again, Heroes of the Storm whack-a-mole from the red team. They got level 16 now as an advantage, and after destroying the bottom wall at the keep and the fort, they're moving into the middle to take another fort apart with ease. Beautiful performance here from Sweden, and they take a very well-deserved lead in this game. If they can continue this, then boy oh boy, we are going to be in for a treat, because this could very well go down to the wire, to the full distance. We could see game 5. 8 kills to 0. 8 kills to 0 after 10 minutes. And the fort, of course, is going to get destroyed over here on the left. This one is not going to make it. Bam! Greymane comes in, he takes it down. And Germany needs to close the gap to level 16 before they can even think about making a fight happen. Unless, of course, they are able to somehow isolate a target here somewhere. 38 stacks for Tyrael. It's actually pretty impressive for the Ardent Restoration, I gotta say. That is quite good, considering that we are only 11 minutes into the game. So Tyrael with some nice moves there. Gul'dan isn't done with his level 1 quest. Well, scratch that. He is done now. Chromie is still waiting for it too. And, well, the Germans still a bit behind. But they should be able to get... Like, the next objective is going to be the most important one for them, because I believe that they will be ready with level 16 for the objective, and they still have access to their top fort and therefore to the top fountain. So that is the good news. Yeah, Chromie rushing away. Spray game is in. Well, that's the only thing that's on point for the Germans now. There's the bullet, and that is the end of Nick. And I guess we're going to see Death Knight fall too. They're going for the double digits here. 10 kills. Germany loses Deckard Cain again. He gets kicked into lava. His body burns. And still we're waiting for the first kill of Germany. Not a single kill. Sweden got... Keep in mind, in game number 1, what Germany did is they banned Zarya. Now, of course, it's a little bit different whether you're playing on Braxis or you're playing in Infernal Shrines. One of the reasons why Germany prioritized that ban in game number 3 and they didn't in game number 4 is that on Braxis you have a strong 4-man usually. So you have a 4-man lane, whereas here they just didn't quite expect that. But Sweden, they saw an opportunity to go for one of their strongest combos and they didn't hesitate for even a second. They locked in the double pick in the draft right away. And at this point, of course, with 10 kills to 0, yeah, there's another one. Bullet is out. And there's the second stack for Malthael as they're killing Leoric again. 11 kills to 0. Sweden, I mean, they look like a different team right now. Germany just doesn't have an answer. They don't have an answer for this. And the only thing, honestly, that I can comment is either you get a very good Horrify out, you are able to get to level 20, and, well, you bring in... It's not even there. Entomb, Tyrael with a nice setup through a Judgment and a quick kill. Thanks to the burst damage of Chromie and a bit more from Gul'dan, but this is just rough. Garrosh is invading now too. Ultralisk, yeah, he alone is not going to have a chance there. So is Lauber going to steal this? Yeah, Lauber is just going to say thanks, boys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to take that too. See you guys later. Yeah, half level until level 20 for the Swedes. Germany is not making a move for the objective, by the way. Currently, this is looking like an utter disaster. All the forts are destroyed. Germany is just sitting there taking it. And they're willing to accept that Sweden will grab another Punisher and will then make a move for the keep at the top. Which is gonna fall. I don't see a world in which Germany defends this one. Now they're getting some damage done at the bottom of the map and take one fort down too. But yeah. I mean, congratulations. Not so sure. So, level 20 is in. We get the Storm Talents. Here comes the Punisher. It's a Mortar Punisher. And it's party time. Sweden is gonna enjoy this one. There's the bait, and this keep is gone. No chance. This keep is gone. And they might lose the game here. You have Greymane on the other side, so yeah. Flip, taunt, goodbye Gul'dan. Was nice knowing you. This is the end. If they lose more, it's gonna be game. The end of the keep. Chromie gets attacked. Nice sleeper setup from Deckard Cain. Maybe helping them to defend here. potentially just delaying the inevitable. Leoric is dead too. Gia needs some heals. Greymane is a bit low, but besides that, they can of course go for the core here. Divine Shield is already out. Punisher has been baited into the middle, but the shield is falling, and it's falling quickly. Greymane is taking it apart. Sweden says, no more. Reverse sweep, baby. Let's go. We're going the distance. We're going game number 5. Germany losing it. Finally a kill for the blue team, so not a perfect victory for Sweden, but a damn near impressive one regardless. Well done. Well, we're going the distance. Sweden is pulling it off. I'm impressed. Very impressed. I mean, not only did we get Sweden with a victory on Braxis, but boy, did they just murder the Germans. They destroyed them. I mean, this wasn't even close. They made it look like a quick match. So, Germany, they were asking for a bit of a break after the 4th map because they needed to recover from the ass-kicking that they just got. Rumor has it that they send out Ultralis to get some aloe vera to apply to the burns that they received on Infernal Shrines. But here we are, in game number 5. So 40 heroes are now unavailable. We have still 50 left, 90 heroes are in the pool. Yes, technically it's 89, but still. And, well, for now we got an ETC ban. That makes a lot of sense to me. Banning out... Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, a couple of the problems that we have from the perspective of Sweden is that this is a very good map for Abathur plays and for Viking plays, so you have to kind of account for that a bit. And they've already shown earlier, Sweden did, that they are willing to ban both Vikings and also Abathur. From the perspective of Germany, them banning out ETC makes a lot of sense because it's one of Lauber's strongest tanks. He's still up, and Lauber is very likely to play him here if he gets the opportunity. The Tracer ban, I like it from Sweden, but that also means that there is now a chance that we're getting either Vikings or Abathur as this continues. And banning Stitches is an interesting choice from the Germans, because that is very much so targeting the front line. So they might deviate away, maybe even into an Imperious main tank, if they're willing to ban out real main tanks here. We've seen Nick obviously also play his Deathwing, Arthurs and other heroes, so maybe he has something up their sleeves where they expect that Sweden is not going to be ready for it, or is not going to ban it out or take it themselves. But, well, I guess it's easily explained with the fact that they have first pick and they're just deciding to pick their tank first. Works as well. Now, Abathur has already been banned. I personally would assume that if Sweden gets the chance, they're going to ban Vikings on the final slot. But, yeah. First, the double pick here for Sweden. And if they don't pick a tank now, we could see Germany ban another one. And they decide against it. They go for Lucia first. Great, of course, for the rotations on the map. And we have Jaina too. So, okay. With that, we now have a situation in which Germany can ban another tank out. There's still a few left, granted, but keep in mind, the heroes that have been played cannot be played again. So, on the final map, that starts to matter. And there are the Vikings! Germany had the exact same thought. You don't normally want to play the Vikings this early in a draft. But they know that if they don't pick them now, Sweden will ban them. So we get the Vikings for the final map in the series on Cursed Hollow. This is awesome for me. I love this. I love every single piece of it. Cursed Hollow as the final map. Great. Vikings on the final map. Awesome. Let's go. They banned Tyrande. Yeah, Varian plus Tyrande stun. I get it. Very annoying. Also, the vision alone is of course great, and you can interrupt on the channel, so the Tyrande ban makes a whole lot of sense too. Still plenty of supports around that they can use here, but this is still pretty sweet. What is Germany banning? I would assume a tank. I would assume that they're banning some frontliners here. They have Varian. Why allow for anything else to go through here for Lauber? Ah, that's a good point. Svangrora played a lot of Illidan in this tournament. This is a really, really good point. Now, we still have some very dangerous heroes up. You could go for Zeratul. You could even play Void Prison with Jaina, Ring of Frost, for example. But banning out Illidan after Svangrota played him multiple times in this tournament is actually not a bad choice. Yes, that leaves a few more tanks up for Lauber to choose from, but it eliminates some of these. And there's Zeratul. So after Illidan gets banned, they go for Zeratul. I like that. Zeratul can hunt the Vikings, they can try and maybe even combo Jaina and Zeratul, depends a little bit on how Gia is going to play it. And we get Svamgrotta on Urel. That's another big one, of course. Urel on the side lane, oof, yeah. That's strong. That's very, very strong. But final 2 picks. What are we getting? The Germans! Whitemane and Jimmy! Ooh, can they take it with these? Guys, Sweden won 2 in a row. Reverse sweeps are insane. Here comes May. Lauber played her in the past. I could have seen Mal'Ganis. Instead of that, another favorite of Lauber. But with that, we are set for the final map in this series. Germany or Sweden? Who's taking the victory here? Sweden won 2 in a row now. Can they win the 3rd? Can they pull the reverse sweep off? Let's find out. Curse Hollow, map number 5. Game number 5, the final map. It is Cursed Hollow. On the left, we have Death Knight on Whitemane, Ultralisk with Jimmy, Dino and Falstad, very much so on the squishy end, Nick with Varian, and Hazops, the man himself, on the Vikings. On the right side of the map, after winning 2 games in a row, with a chance to win the series and claim 1st place in the standings, Svamgrotta for Sweden with Urel, Lauber on Maid, Skog on Jaina, Henning on Lucio, and Gia on Zeratul. Cleave build for him, going for the greater cleave here at first. And for the Vikings, we get Olaf the Stout. And it is time to shine. Vikings on the sides, up in the middle. We got the 4-man with a birdie. And Germany is looking for a kill. They want to control the side lanes with the Vikings, of course. Zeratul already taking the first one down up at the top as Eric falls. And the push straight in the middle here, as they are hoping for some structural damage against the Swedes. Ace in the hole on level 1 for Jimmy, whereas Jaina is of course working now on her baseline. She went into the lingering chill here. Vikings are going to be absolutely crucial as the game continues, and Hazops is a fantastic Viking player. With his background of an RTS, I mean, he played RTS for like how many years? I don't even know. I mean, started with Warcraft 3, obviously, played that for 8 years and more, then transitioned over to StarCraft 2, and now Heroes of the Storm. More or less the same journey that I had. So he definitely knows how to macro it up properly with the Vikings. Has a lot of experience on them, but it's not going to be easy for him, since Zeratul is really good at hunting these Vikings down one at a time. So this is what we're going to be seeing here continuously. But as all of this continues, we now have camps claimed. Falstad is going for the Siege Giants. We have Bruiser camps taken. I could have seen the Swedes maybe attacking. They showcased in the first few games in particular how they like to be aggressive from the get-go. So them invading a camp or 2 could have been an option for them. But didn't really do anything. Instead, they went for their own. And we already have the Bruiser camp at the top right now taken too. So level 4 on both sides, no real kills yet. Varian now with his own level 4, no stacks on level 1 for Reyna, but he now goes for the Behemoth armor here for a bit more survivability. We have Taunt obviously in play, Rending Cleave after the Greater Cleave was chosen on level 1 for Zeratul. They could combo with Void Prison and Ring of Frost on level 10, all depending on how they want to play these team fights out. And still Gia chasing at the top. Hazu paying attention. He is going to try and save them as best as he can, but if you're going up against a decent Zeratul player, then eventually you're going to lose a couple of your Vikings. This is just going to be a thing. So, yeah. Once more, we got the next push straight through the middle here, as they're trying to go for another play, maybe a kill, and it is Jaina that falls. The Germans with the first kill in the game. First blood in game number 5 for the blue team. Yeah, time to shine. Up towards the top, Gia still making a couple more plays, and what exactly can he pull off now? Can he maybe start and control the Vikings even further? It seems like for now they're totally fine just letting some of these tributes go, as the Vikings are channeling at the bottom. They need to maintain the experience range, and they're doing this as best as they can up at the top. We're on top of that, have now also Nick still pushing through the middle, hoping to get another taunt through. And if he can set the team up for a second kill, that would of course be great. And Zeratul is still high. I mean, Zeratul is playing with vision as best as he can. He wants to hide as much as possible, always keep the team guessing, makes it a bit more annoying for the Viking player, but also for the rest of the team, since they don't want to expose anybody on these side lanes to the Vikings on top of that. But yeah, time will tell. Either way now, we got level 7 talents in for both of them. In the middle, another little play being made, as it seems that the Swedes are trying to pressure again. Yeah, but not enough damage done just yet to break the wall down. They're getting the towers pretty low though. And now with the help of Jaina, they might be able to at least destroy one of them. There's of course some counter pressure happening at the bottom of the map at the same time, as Germany is just attempting to trade. As the map opens up, the Vikings are also going to get a bit more value for them. More room to work with. Bit easier to kill for Zeratul too, on the flip side. But yep, here we are. 1 kill to 0, wall in the middle nearly destroyed, up the top, damage done, 1 tribute to 1. Each team has gotten 1 thus far. Not a lot of stacks happening here for Jimmy, for example, either. He has only 2 stacks on the Behemoth armor on level 4, simply because we don't really see a whole lot of skirmishes and fights right now. Look how safe everybody is playing this. Nobody wants to take a big chance here. Nobody wants to make a mistake. They all are just playing on small opportunities, trying to flank in, gank, get access to one of the targets. They're trying to make a move now for Varian, but of course have to deal also with the counter damage. And Balog topside gets taken out, but Olaf is already on the way to take over for him on experience. So that's fine. And Tribute's now down at the bottom of the map. Yeah. This is a nail-biter. It's gonna be very tight. Very, very tight. Sweden comes in with all of the momentum that you can imagine after kicking Germany around on Infernal Shrines. And the Germans, not only do they want to redeem themselves after now lost 2 games in a row and claim victory, but also they don't want to give up the #1 spot in the standings. Of course not. You want to have a good seat before you make it to Berlin. It's not only about qualifying for the offline event and then going there, but it's also about you getting an easy opponent in the first round and having an easier chance to move through the winner bracket. So as is, Ring of Frost, Void Prison, all chosen. Need to make sure that they don't stack up too much. Rainer's Raiders are also in, and we're getting the Scarlet Aegis for Whitemane. Gust being used, they isolate Urel a little bit, but they cannot force out the ult just yet. And Germany is forced back here. Now, of course, the Vikings are still on the lane, and thanks to the Siege Giants that they took topside, it also means that they can do some serious damage to the structures as long as the interrupts keep happening. And Eric is interrupting again. They're even getting a kill here, as it seems. Woo! May down, and they interrupted. Vikings getting value in the middle and up at the top. This is big for Germany. Winning the fight the way they just did is huge. And look at this. Nice penetrating round. That one was glorious. Just as the VP comes down, Jimmy prevents Jaina from following up with her own ult. He might die, but they are taking not only Jaina, but also Lucio down. This is huge. Big plays by the German team. They win the third tribute. They get big damage done up at the top as they take minion after minion down. 1 level lead right now. Svamgrota moving in to make sure that not the entire wall falls. But that was a massive win for Germany. The kill against May was already amazing from their perspective, and buying even more time for the Siege Giants topside to do damage for the Vikings to soak experience. But of course, winning the tribute itself and getting 2 additional kills was massive. Absolutely massive. 4 kills to 2 now, and this is just gigantic from their point of view. They get the boss, closing in on level 13. Yes, boss trade, since the same is happening on the top right by Sweden. But the early level 13, that's a nice boost for the Germans. They now also have for the Vikings jump available. And with the help of Balog at the bottom of the map, they're going to get more and more damage done here very, very quickly. This fort is definitely going to fall as another tribute is being fought over. And this is a potential curse against Sweden. This could be a curse. Ring with no value. They dodged it nicely. Zeratul has been damaged. And Dino is bold enough to just follow after him since he's already so low. They go for white main. Gust had to be used. Taunt is in. Lauba in trouble. But saves himself. And Gia with a big VP. But the follow-up, it has to be Jaina. Does she get the kill? No, she doesn't. The fight not over yet. And at the bottom of the map, the fort has already been destroyed. Quest completed for Jaina. Gia nearly dead. The tribute still being fought over. Top fort has also fallen. Both bosses with big value for those teams. But Dino gets caught and dies. Dino caught and dead. But the ice block. Eric. They get the kill. The Vikings kill against Jaina. The Vikings take Jaina down. Everybody low at the bottom of the map. The boss is damaging the keep together with Balog. May falls. Lucio is dead. They're gonna get the curse. Germany with a big play. 7 kills to 3. The level 13 talent advantage. Absolutely massive for them. Such a huge lead. And now they are about to take the bottom keep down. They might not quite be able to make it work. Well, they should, but Haas already went in the middle and took another minion wave down. Is wasting their time, takes the minions apart. Big experience. The keep has been destroyed. He's been backdooring waves. 7 kills to 3, 2 level advantage. What an absolute banger of a series. And the Germans with the Viking plays of Hazu with big wins. Hazu himself taking Jaina down in the team fight while simultaneously pushing at the bottom. He takes the keep with Balog and then proxies 2 minion waves in the middle and top. Still pressure applied up top side, which will allow them to get level 16. They're taking another 4 down, and Sweden is in a downward spiral. Germany, they are going for gold here. Level 16, the Vikings now with a large and in charge, and it allows them to get another kill on Jaina. Big plays being made. Germany, they gave them hope and now they're taking it away. The bot lane, an utter disaster. Sweden cannot allow for the Germans to take another boss once that it respawns, or it's going to go straight for the core. May in trouble, so is the keep in the middle as they're bursting through the gate and wall. They're going for the keep, and immediately a penetrating round is stopping Urel as she's trying to jump in once again. Jimmy doing work in this one, and keep number 2 is likely gonna fall here. What an insane amount of momentum. Ring with no value. Gust used the keep gone. Topside attacked. 8 kills to 3. Germany in full control of the game. Hazu controlling the side lane. Zeratul is dead. It is a brutal amount of momentum that the Germans have built up here. The pain train is coming, and it is headed straight for Meatball City. Another kill as May falls. Sweden throws everything against them. A bit of a Hail Mary move, hoping to just wreak havoc, but it is not enough. Top side, big damage done as well. Down to the bottom of the map. Catapults already moving in for the core. Urel still being followed. They want to have another kill, and these staggered deaths are, of course, a big problem. There's the taunt, and that is Svamgrotta gone. 40 seconds until the bosses are back up. Vikings controlling the side lanes. 40,000 damage from Jimmy. 36,000 from Jaina. But it is highly questionable whether or not Sweden can stabilize again. They are completely crushed so far. They have taken 1 fort down thanks to the boss at the top, but boy are they in trouble here. They get level 16. They have even talents now. Maybe with even talents they have a chance to win a team fight, because that is what's needed here. They need to come in. Void Slash is big. Northern Exposure, huge. But even if they win a tribute, it's not going to be enough. Germany is 1 level away from level 20. 1 level away. They got Balog already at the top. There's a Siege Giant camp traveling through the top side now too. Full control by Hazu Ops. And it's all about buying time. Buying time, avoiding fights, waiting for 20, buying time for Balog, going for the top keep. Hazu is losing Olaf here, but he's still pushing at the top, as you can see. With a catapult, 13 minutes in. And Sweden, they're trying to go for the boss. For a very good reason. Again, they need to deny this boss to the German team. If they don't, then this boss is going to go for core. But Falstad pushing in the middle. They're using the globals now. They have globals. They have the extra experience. The boss is taken. They gave this one up. But now at the top, another tower is about to fall. Catapults are pushing in on every single lane for the core. And of course, while all of this is happening, it's an easy defense now for the Germans down at the bot lane because Sweden is forced back to defend. And while they're defending their core, the keep is taking damage. It's not going to get destroyed here, but it's softening things up for Falstad and for the Vikings. Germany gets an easy defense down at the bottom of the map, and what's more important, they get level 20. And here they are. Level 20, another tribute up at the top, one boss still up, they can fight for this one. We got the Scarlet Crusade, Fury of the Storm is in, Hazo saving the Vikings for now, losing one. And Falstad is already thinking about pushing out the bot lane. Could go for the Siege Giants and does. They allow another one to be taken. Catapult at the top core. Top keep. And boy oh boy. Germany doesn't have to fight. They don't have to fight. They can just simply play this one out by playing the map. Hazops goes for the second tribute. So they are ahead in tributes once again. And there's Siege Giants at the bottom of the map. Catapults are pushing in. It's a wild one. For Germany, there's of course a big question. Do you play it slow? Wait for the game to continue, the catapults to scale, and eventually the opponent's core to take damage? Or do you try to exploit the fact that you have a level 20 advantage while you still can? Because eventually, Sweden is going to have level 20. And it seems that right now, Sweden is just saying, okay, let's let them do their thing. If they don't want to fight us, we don't fight either. We just defend, 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 and get to level 20. The problem for Sweden is that the next tribute is also, again, a curse. Now, the good news is they have very few structures that they can still lose. As much as that is good news. This is the only thing that can still fall. The bad news is that they would have to defend at the core and catapults would come in. But maybe Ring Gust has been used and they're able to walk away. Scarlet Eagles has been used here as well, and this time they're going for the fight. Germany, they want to use the level 20 advantage. And they're coming in for May. Another stun from Olaf with a Largen in charge. They're trying to turn it now. Maybe on Zeratul. He's starting to move away from this. The lane's still looking alright. Jimmy with more damage. Damage from him as May is again the target. 44,000 for the auto attacker. Jaina with 52,000 herself, and it is another curse. Hazops is channeling as the team is still chasing in the middle, and this is curse number 2 against Sweden. Sweden is with their back to the wall. They are trying to defend as best as they can. They're holding on to this game. They are trying to save the core, claim level 20, and then slowly bring it back. They made it happen after a 2-0 lead for Germany. They forced game number 5. They won 2 in a row. But here comes Germany. The German efficiency as they try to go for the core. 11 kills to 4 thus far. Still a 2-level lead for the blue team. They're nibbling on those shields. Top keep is about to fall to the minion wave. Germany looking for a kill. Ice wall being used as they're trying to go for Falstad. The birdie in trouble, but he's able to get out. Ice block by Jaina. And there's the taunt, and Jaina dies. Jaina gone, so is the shield on the core. Germany, they maintain the #1 spot in the standings. They lost 2 maps to Sweden, but it is another victory for Germany as they take down Sweden in game number 5 on Cursed Hollow. GG and well played.